Come, let me get you some.
Yo, yo, yo,
Hello.
yo! Mundo in the house. Welcome to Saber Talk Sunday. Barris in the house. How you guys doing? Man, it's been an interesting week, so to speak. But Barris, yeah, man, we were talking about. I saw your costume, and that was a pretty cool costume, dude.
I
I really enjoyed.
so context. I started out. I basically I attempted my first Darth Nihilus cosplay. Basically, I was looking for a skin mask, a black skin mask to go over the mask, go under the mask that I have, because you don't see his eyes or face or anything like that. So, and it came
Mhm.
out pretty quite well actually. I mean, I will have to move some things around, but honestly, for a DIY straight off the bat, I think it was a good start.
Yeah, I think it is too, man. And so tonight's show is we're gonna talk about Greeblies tonight, man.
Greeblies,
Saber Greeblies. And
Greeblies.
these Greeblies can be anything, What's up, dude? Mo's in the house.
Yep.
And
Hello.
Mo's in the house. Titan's in the house. So as I was saying, the Greeblies, it could be anything. Greeblies, the term Greeblies is just basically bling for the Sabers, right?
I
And
mean,
so,
yeah, they don't really show they unless they like serve a specific purpose. They're just add-ons, basically. Carter's in the house. Hello, Mytho.
Carter's in the house.
Yeah,
Yeah, but and Jeremy is too. Hey, Jeremy.
yeah.
And so I mean, the Greeblies do serve, a decent amount of what do how do I want to really put this? I mean, the Greeblies enhance the saber, so they enhance the saber's overall look, especially if what you're trying to go for, right?
Definitely.
And
Scott Carpenter. He as if you've seen his Facebook, does a DIY on his saber to make it look very just a lot different.
oh,
Um,
he does. I mean, I really enjoy his picks and his saber stuff because I mean, and Jeremy's done some really cool stuff too, right?
yeah, I will say,
Oh,
do you think that blade plugs also count as a greebly?
yeah, absolutely. Because you have so many designs with with those blade plugs that you can't admit those as a greebly. Um, would you all agree with that statement? Because for me, it ends in the house. For me, blade plugs do offer quite a good different look within the saber of covering up those LEDs. I mean, because nobody's going to go and look straight up in there with the LEDs, but
No.
at the same time, you have so many different companies offering so many different styles and so many different things that it adds character to the lightsaber itself, right?
Definitely. And I mean, let me go get a couple of my hilts just to demonstrate. But yeah, basically, I mean, it definitely adds a bit of a nice look to the saber.
Hmm. And Greeblies don't just end up on the outside; they end up on the inside too. And Tim from Tearfond, and and of course, Jeremy and everybody that produces some great hilts. So just everything with the saber all together, and especially the chassis. The chassis that came out uh, have all the greeblies embedded into you know when you're using your 3D printer, and you have all these different little design elements that go into printing these chassis. Um, it's all greeblification, like Scott says, greeblification.
Well, see,
And so,
yeah. Here are some of the blade plugs I have. This is a NeoPixel. It's from Albert Ellswick, Saber Gear, also known as Death Con Bird. And the idea is for it
mhm,
to look like Darth Vader's blade plug. I at first tried to use one that was from Force Ghost Sabers, but didn't have enough shine through.
mhm,
So I went with this one.
mhm,
Not exactly an MPP blade plug, but it's a close approximation. So I just and my Force FX hilts, they were installed with non-lit PCBs at the bottom, so that's why they're NeoPixel.
mhm.
So
Have you come to destroy me, Obi-Wan?
You see, and that adds character to it, man.
yeah, and yeah,
That really does.
I mean, it's not accurate to the MPP blade plug, but it looks amazing.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't think that you have to be absolutely accurate, for things to be Greeblified.
I mean, for those who are like real purists for lightsabers, I mean, it really all depends on what you're doing with. Here's an
Well, yes, for those purists, yes, I agree with that. But the thing is that for some people that you know who don't want to be pure on any of their hilts, and because they're not looking for that stuff, and it has to be understood that everybody's different as well, right? And if you get close to it, that's okay. If you get close to it, that's okay.
yeah. This
Everything is okay.
this here is another design, also by Saber Gear. What I did, I chose one with a pylon that came up, and
Mm-hmm.
I chose it to have olive drab wiring. And Saber Gear, what he does is he makes all of his blade plugs by hand, and some of them are reused parts that from melted down DVDs and discs and whatnot and
Mm-hmm.
other stuff. So I
Scott,
actually
I believe he's got. Oh no!
and what's neat about
Tighten me up.
and look, obviously this is not accurate to Ezra's hilt, but
Right.
chose it because the olive drab matches what Kanan's lightsaber was, and Ezra built his lightsaber in Ahsoka based off of Kanan's, and I actually
Mm-hmm.
and this one actually has there's a twin. Its twin is actually on my Kanan saber, which is not the
Mm-hmm.
same. So we turn this on.
Jeremy and Carter, what is your favorite Greebly? Is it within the chassis? Is it on the saber itself? What is y'all's opinions, and what is y'all's favorite type of Greebly within the saber itself? I mean, it could be anywhere on the saber. It doesn't matter. See, I like that blade plug. That's pretty cool, man.
And
I like that.
because of the blade style, the rotoscope, it makes it look like the inside is the flame from the plasma blade too.
Yes, absolutely. Now, you know, um, let me see. Let me get my train of thought here together. How I want to proceed with some of this as well. Sometimes people, when they, well, let's put it this way, okay? If I'm printing a chassis and like I printed a chassis too small, right? Or too big, whatever have you will. Let me see. Um, like this
Yeah.
chassis right here that I printed. This is way too small, right? For the Nova hilt that I'm kind of working on currently. And so, but I've printed a few of these because I've got the STL from Rich Sangello. I mean, just an amazing creator, and he does such an awesome job of making the chassis as well. So in getting the STL from Rich, man. Of course, I messed up quite a few quite a few chassis, right? But this afternoon I was thinking to myself, why not turn these negatives into a positive, right? And look at the detail in this thing, right? Look at the detail in that stuff. And so with this, what I plan on doing with some of these, and I've got quite a few of these now. What I plan on doing is to sand these down right in here, and then actually gluing some of these either on an emitter or gluing it on maybe um, on the hilt itself somewhere to kind of showcase a little uh, greeblification, right, Scott? Greeblification. So, and you're not limited to this stuff like this because the imagination can run wild with all of this stuff, man.
There
And
are I will say the blade plugs that are offered by saber companies, the generic ones, they can
hmm
they can be a little overzealous and honestly not do much in the way of actual usage. However, I will say that if you get the right one and apply it to the correct saber with the actual fit that would work, it actually all works out in the end. Like a good example would be, for example, the Temple Guard SE by
hmm
TXQ. Um,
hmm
One of the generic blade plugs that usually come with TXQ or LGT are the shine through crystal ones seen here. I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, and usually it doesn't work because from the top you can't see through it. You can see
hmm
the light, but you can't see the crystal. So
Well,
what's neat about this hilt is that the TXQ decided to put little accent windows in the middle right here. You see, as you can see there. So what I
hmm
did was I held on to these two, this blade plug and another one of it, and I basically waited until I had my hands on this hilt. So when I put it back on, give me a second because screwing these on with the Greeblies are a little bit annoying. Da, 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 da. And I keep doing that. Okay, there we go.
Cease hostility!
And as you can see, shine through.
that's pretty loud. Yeah, the man, that's pretty loud. I like that though.
Yeah, here it is.
Now,
Yeah.
now what I consider, also I think um, having windows is part of a Greebly process within the saber itself.
Accent
So,
windows and he'll definitely do.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to consider all of those things that are viable as Greeblies because um, having a window to see your crystal chamber really enhances a lot of that stuff as well because no matter how you put it, right? Because you either going to have to take out your chassis so that you can see the crystal chamber with the crystal lit up and everything else, or if you have a static chassis that stays in there, but you have to take the bottom of the saber off in order to see it. But if you choose not to do either one of those, then the window is definitely a way to go for a big time Greebly of being able to see that crystal chamber without taking anything out of the saber itself. Now, and those are pretty cool. But what I would enjoy, and I think it'd be a major upgrade as a Greebly, is when you have the window covered up and somehow you open it to reveal the crystal within there,
Well,
right?
actually, I do agree. That is one of the things. In fact, on the Venzalo hilt from Old Republic, there are several. I believe it's 89 Sabers and Ultimate Works. They have the versions of that hilt where you can actually open a little panel and show the crystal, and I think
Hmm.
that's very creative. But at the same time, and Chris, and like you said, lightsaber crystals also work as a greebly in that sense, and that's why personally, I mean, what I have, like for example, I of all the crystal lightsabers with crystal chambers that I have, I probably have. Let me see. Wait, I'm thinking. Okay, I only have two that have crystal chambers. I have my Keller and Beck, and my
Hmm.
Nihilist, but that's about it. Um, and I and technically my Star Killer counts as a crystal saber because of the accent crystal, but it doesn't have it on the chassis.
Mm. Now, I think it's cool that one of the well, it's cool in different ways, but you have that little mechanism that spins around the crystal, right?
Yeah,
And
with
that kind of enhances that kind of greebly kind of enhances a lot of different things because it satisfies the moving parts part of things, and it's pretty interesting to
yes,
see that.
and technology has definitely improved to where people are able to create a spinning crystal chamber and it doesn't make a lot of sound. Like I remember, I think it was a year and a half, 2 years ago that I believe it was TXQ came out with the spinning custom hilt that they did for Anakin Skywalker's hilt, and it still
Hmm.
made a lot of noise. You could hear the roaring of the motors, which I understand that there has to be movement gear with it, but I would say in the last 2 years that has definitely gotten a lot better.
Yeah, definitely a lot better. I mean, and smoother too. Because when they first started coming out, they had I've seen a lot of problems with them where they would go or they would be super slow or they'd be super fast, and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden they get stuck and go. It
yeah.
was funny, man. It
I
was
mean,
hilarious to
I
see
mean,
things like
I
that.
mean, LGT did an interesting thing with the Xeno V3 app where you can control the spinning movement of the crystal if you have one on
Hmm.
on your saber. And what's interesting also is that Goth 3D. I mean, they've upped the ante. Of course, they always up the ante, but um, they have a thing where you can plug in your crystal and like it turns on that sort of thing with an RFID register.
Hmm.
That's it's just incredible.
Yeah.
I
Well,
will.
and
Would you
go
say?
ahead.
Here's the thing. Another thing, Mundo. Would you say weathering or bluing parts of the hilt would that also be considered a part of the greeby process, or would you put that in a separate category?
Well, I consider that both separate and Greeblies because if you're trying to enhance the saber itself in terms of looking how you want it to look a certain way, Greeblies, is just another that term. If you bring it loosely into what it really is, Greeblies is just to enhance an object, right? You're putting stuff on an object to enhance it. So painting, painting, staining, bluing, any of that stuff enhances the saber itself.
The
So
aesthetic.
yeah, and so the aesthetic, like you said, as if you're going to do those things, then yeah, I would consider them part of the greeblification process because JQ's in the house.
He says
You know,
greebies equals fancy junk. I can agree with that position.
yeah, yeah. I mean, no matter whether it's in the chassis or on the hilt itself or the emitter or um anything else that goes on to the saber itself. Even the buttons themselves become greeblies, because if you're 3D printing certain type of buttons and stuff like that, right? If you're 3D printing buttons, or kill switches, or anything like that, anything with a design or something out of the ordinary, I would say custom built stuff is usually greeblies, right? Because and you have to look at it that way, because anytime you make something custom, you are gonna have a greebly onto the saber itself. Whether it have a certain look, a certain color, or certain type of feel to it. Even some of the grips can be considered greeblies, man, because if you're not using like what's in the show itself, the movies, the shows, whatever have you will, right? And let's say you make a custom grip for your lightsaber, then of course it's a greebly, man, because it's not exactly what's in there. So yeah, I mean it enhances anything on the saber itself. You need to consider it a greebly, so to speak. And again, let's go back to buttons, right? Buttons that light up. Now you could have buttons that don't do nothing. They just go on and off, and that's it.
And
Nothing special.
but one thing that I always and that I have a pain about is that when you lose a Greebly and you didn't expect to lose it.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
like for example, the LGT Kit Fisto, it has two little silver knobs. One of them is the activation button, but the other one is just a Greebly. It came off the other day, and I'm so bummed that because it's a unique piece. You have to either 3D print it or you have to
Hmm.
get it originally from the manufacturer. Now, thankfully, I can get spares courtesy of because Chris can help me with that. But other than that, I have to wait. But thankfully, it doesn't hinder the um, it doesn't hinder it. JT says Lucas himself wanted the galaxy lived in another reason. Yes, that is true, and I think the the adjustments that the prop that ILM did to the Graflex and to the MPP in Empire Strikes Back made it more look better to it because and I mean, even the adjustments that were made to the Graphics in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, well, not The
Hmm.
Last Jedi, in The Rise of Skywalker contributed to it. And I personally, of all the Graphics from the original and sequel trilogy, I will say that my least favorite is the Rise of Skywalker version, mainly because it just seemed like
Hmm.
I feel like they could have just done a concept tilt like how they did with the concept art, but I feel like it's still a creative way of doing that. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, but it is very impressive how they were able to. But when Roger, oh yeah, that's true. When Roger Christian created R2D2, he had a bunch of Greeblies all over, including the extensions and whatnot, and that
Yeah.
also the concept design that Ralph McQuarrie wrote as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, I think concept art can play a big factor in uh some of the greeblies that can go onto certain things, right?
Agree,
Now,
yes.
I myself can't draw, man. I couldn't even save my life to draw a stick figure, dude. I mean,
Oh,
I
you
I
want me to
I
play the world's smallest violin? Is that what you want?
oh, I'm telling you, man, I'm just being real, dude. I mean, if it meant my life to draw a stick figure, I'd still screw it up. But
Oh,
yeah, man. So again, you just have to keep trying, right? Keep trying and keep at it.
Yeah.
But and here's the thing: anything custom that can go onto a saber hilt and enhance it big time. Chet's in the house.
Oh, chat.
Uh, y- you know, let's get into like the chassis, man. The chassis, the colors, the different
The inverted
kind
link
of
that will reflect.
the blinkies. Yeah. Well, even okay, the little blinkies, man, the little light strips, right? The 3535s.
Yeah.
Those are greeblies, man. Those are greeblies because you can have a chassis and not have anything on it. It can just be round and plain and have buttons, plain buttons, and nothing, can really just, I mean, it's just a plain Jane piece of machinery that goes into a saber and really does nothing for not only gratification purposes, but to enhance the saber itself, right? So, again, custom made stuff, yeah, I would consider those Greeblies because even if they are 3D printed, if they were metal, if they were laser etched, if they were cut into the saber, if they were glued onto the saber, so stuff like that has to give meaning and life to the saber itself, right?
Yeah. This is the
Okay,
this is the chassis to my Keller and deck.
okay, there you go. Now you got the little light strip there, right? And you got the pins that light up as well, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
They shine
and
out.
now and you also have a crystal that lights up in there.
Yep.
Okay, so LEDs that enhance the chassis itself along with the saber itself, definitely Greeblies, right? Because let's say you didn't have the crystal chamber. Well, you have a crystal chamber, but you need the LEDs to light up the crystal chamber. But you don't really need LEDs the rest of the thing, correct?
No.
But the LEDs, but the LEDs enhance that piece of the lightsaber
Yeah.
within the
Accent
chassis
LED,
itself.
the accent LEDs on a Pixel PCB you do not need. I mean, that's why you have the Pixel Blade. The only thing it does is really just show a light through with that.
Yeah, it enhances the saber itself. I mean, I mean, it's a Greebly. It's
Yeah.
a Greebly.
And,
Bottom,
with, and since this one is Profi, the neat thing about it is that where's the turn on switch? Okay, here it is. Is that it basically is that with it could also be programmed it since it's Profi.
hmm
So, like for example, green on this one. As you can see, it's blue on one end, green on the other. But as you can see, as it moves, it flickers and switches.
And the light bar too. Yeah, nice.
Not sure if you can see, but okay, it looks like
JT, what is your favorite type of Greebly on a saber? Would it be the LEDs? Would it be the chassis design itself? Would it be what would be your Greebly go to or Greebly, favorite piece? Well, this goes for everybody in the chat too. What would be your favorite Greebly within a saber? I mean, it could be anything, right? An emitter.
Can we go kill something now?
Turn
Disseminate.
the LED dark colors inside to give extra shine through. Get about 3 hours burn. That's funny. Come on, guys. I mean, my gosh, everybody's like sleeping right now.
Well, I mean, people want to get their hour sleep. I mean, daylight savings happened yesterday. Plus,
I
I don't
know,
blame
man.
them one bit.
I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Oh, Mo goes. What was the question? What is your favorite Greebly within its saber? I mean, it can be anything within the saber itself. Yeah. 2020 LED strips as accent lights. Okay. Chet likes the accent lights, basically. I like those too, Chet. I mean, I can't argue with that because like I was saying, the little LED lights really do enhance a lot of things. So in what I was saying, and I keep saying it over and over and again, and I apologize, but um, you know, the those LEDs really do enhance everything. So yeah, consider I consider them highly greeblies. Oh, shrouds, yes.
Hmm.
See, shrouds is another greebly that really enhances a saber, whether it be short, long, or in between. Um,
If you want to go, if you want to go battle axe mode like a Darth Malgus saber.
yeah. Well, and also if you're even thinking of that, the Greebly, you could consider the acid and laser etching, right?
Yes.
Those in by oh my God, man, they enhance the saber by hundreds. I mean, exponentially because the the man, the designs that you can get on there with those two ways of putting, some lovely designs on your saber within the Star Wars world, or and it's just unbelievable because the process you have two different processes, right? One chemical and the other one just a light emitting type because you have the laser. I mean, they're both chemical in certain different ways, but at the same time, it's amazing how you can see the acid etching burning into the metal itself, right? And then of course you have the laser that actually cuts into the metal itself, and they're very minute burns and cuts within within the surface of the metal. And those are very interesting, man. 3D printed, yes. See, Rum sword, Kopek Demon Hunter for my daughter. I used 2020 strips to make the
Oh
accent light.
yeah, that was you, Chet. Oh my God, that thing was awesome. Seriously, I'm sure your daughter. I mean, I'm sure that thing is going to get bashed around a lot, considering your daughter's a 3-year-old. But like, dude, that was incredible. Seriously, that was awesome.
That was like phenomenal.
Like, seriously,
Haha.
like, yeah. I mean, like stuff like that. Like, we're in an age where even I wish I was a kid now.
Right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely be good to be a kid right now. But as time goes by, I think the Greeblies will get even better as time goes by because everybody's concept of Greeblies are not the same. Then you have all these different adventurers who want to do different things and think out of the box, right?
Yeah. One thing I
So
did
you,
one
go
I
ahead.
did one thing I did see from Saber Bay was that they released these Greebly switches, these activation buttons that would fit over um, the LGT or TXQ where you had the sliding cores,
Hmm.
and those are really helpful, especially if you want to match up with your hilt. Like for example, the X Tech Sifo DS, if you get the one that can fit a USB-C core, um,
Hmm.
I you can put you can get a red Greebly nub activation switch and basically put it over, and it's a it's a plunger. The switch
Yeah.
is a plunger, so that it would work perfectly in that case.
Um. Man, I'm trying to see if I can find. Geez. Oh. Okay. Here we go. My crate slayer. Okay. I just got the crate slayer. So. Um. Let's see here. So to show this off, right? I got the crate slayer from Jawa's Junkyard, and of course Greeblified big time, I think, right? Of course, you have the little pins that go right here. I know I apologize, guys. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet, and I'm not going to until I'm ready to really play around with this. But you got the little pins right here. You got the little the glass eye right there, right? The red button. So I mean, and then of course you got the little windows right here. So this thing is like heavily greeblified, man, heavily greeblified. And of course this thing is heavy too, man. Whew. It's got some good weight to it. I love this thing, man. And I believe like Benji said it was like a 7/8 blade, right? So I did buy some stock for a 7/8 inch blade to work on the 7/8 inch blade, and that'll be like kind of cool to work on that 7/8 inch blade. It I don't I don't know, man. With now the blades I think is a must. So I don't think I would consider the blades greeblies, so to speak, right?
Mm, I mean, the Quillion, the side blades, if you have a cross guard, those could count.
Well, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I think the cool yawns, yeah. I would say that one is yeah. Okay, but in thinking about it, yeah, just not the regular blade itself, right? Because that's pretty standard. It's pretty standard. Um, I don't know if I would actually consider like blade styles greeblies. I mean, possibly,
Yeah, no, blade
possibly,
styles are their own little thing. I would say.
yeah. I mean, because the blade styles actually they enhance the saber itself. But I think you're correct. I think I'd have to agree with you that they're in a different classification than greebly parts, right? Because you want certain small parts to enhance the outside of the lightsaber itself, or the inside, which is basically your chassis. And that I think those two parameters should be considered with the Greeblies themselves. And again, go into such detail with stuff like this. Oops, excuse me. You know, there we go. So stuff like this, right? You have these little details like this, and the details that pop out. And again, I have to thank Rich Sangillo so much for, allowing me to get an STL from him for the chassis for the Nova. And I messed up a print on purpose, and I wanted to see so you could get like the batter. I wanted to do just a battery holder like this, so I can hold my battery while I'm working on stuff. I didn't want it any higher, so it's like, and then I could just whoop, drop it right out of there, man. And if I need to, I can just put a speaker right in here, so I can test the speaker fits on different things like that. So, um, different ways of working things out, right? Chassis parts on the outside of hilts, yeah, it builds layer, absolutely.
Yeah,
That couldn't be more true. That could not be more true. But then, and you have a lot. The Minuki. Oh yeah, for sure. Um, Greeblies again. Wrappings. Wrappings. I consider Greeblies because they're enhancing. If you have a hilt that is just the solid metal, and you put the wrap on it, I think it enhances the saber. Excuse me, the saber itself. So yeah, it's a Greebly, right? Because it adds character to the hilt and it enhances the look of it, right? Ace in the house. What's up, Ace? Man, hope you have a good workout, dude. Charlie, hope you have a good workout, Charlie. So again, the wrap. If you have a bare metal on the hilt itself and you wrap it in any form or fashion, whether it be the leather wrap, whether it be like a wrap for like a katana style wrap, or whether you have anything of that nature, right? Um, so that in itself again is greeblification. I'm gonna steal that word from you, Scott. Greeblification. Thanks, Scott, for that word. So, um, what else? Let's see. What else can we actually consider Greeblies within a lightsaber in terms of? Hmm. Let me see. Well, let's see. We did blade plugs. We did grew in different pieces on there. Hmm. Well, we can't consider boards Greeblies at all because boards are basically the heart and soul of the lightsaber itself, right? So we can't consider the boards Greeblies themselves at all. So unless, well, no, not even if you put a little, those SMD LEDs on there, to enhance the board. But see, again, if you're putting SMD LEDs for the boards, that's just extra Greeblies on the board itself and not anything else, right? Blade retention screws.
I mean,
Uh,
I mean, they do. Blade retention screws do work. Consider as Greeblies. Like for example, if they're the same size as the screws, like a knob, that could work.
well, yeah, in some hilts, and the reason why I'm going to say some hilts is because if you look at Qui-Gon Jinn's hilt,
Yeah, that would
right?
not. That would not work.
Well, no, because he's got the red screw
That's
button on there.
that's an activation button.
Yeah, but it's still agreeably because of the color itself,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I'm going to say agree to disagree on that one because it's an activation button. If there were any, if it was anything, if there were any other additions, I would consider it. But I just think it doesn't work that way.
Well, okay.
Like, okay,
Mo says the neural nuts.
the neural nuts, yeah. Especially on the MPP. I would say the brass pointer thing with the crystal in it on Obi-Wan's apprentice saber, that's agreeably.
Yeah, okay. I can see that. I can see that. Obi-Wan's. Do you think, okay, do you think the Gianobili
The Geonobi,
has has Greeblies?
I would say yes and no, because keep in mind, clan hilts were basically serial production in order to accommodate for all the extra Jedi. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I would say that depending on the Jedi, different Greeblies would be added. Like for example, um, look at Kit Fisto's hilt and look at Luminar Unduli's hilt. They are basically the same except for some different colorations and
Mm-hmm.
different parts. And
Well, yeah, because weren't they Master and Padawan?
no, no, no. Plo Koon and Luminara are two separate.
No, okay, I missaid that. I miss.
You're thinking of Barris.
Uh, uh, no,
Barris.
no, no. Well, what I meant to say was that they had normally with hilts you have elements of the master and the Padawan implemented together, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of I should have reworded it the way I would. My brain wasn't thinking properly, but the way
Uh,
I was trying to get it to come out is that you have elements within a certain saber that both integrate the Padawan and the Master together. So each hilt that has come out, Luminara's was reminiscent of her Master and her together, right?
well, I mean, it's hard to say
Because
because we don't know who Luminara's master was, but the clan. I will say when it comes to clan hilts, each one was designed by ILM as a way to save on production costs, and
hmm
the Geonobi and the Arenakin were a part of the were basically just random hilts. I mean, the two Jedi that threw them those hilts in the Geonosian arena, they were from the prop department.
hmm That's
Um,
a good question, Jim. I don't know if I would consider them
cover text,
Greeblies.
cover text, and D rings actually can fall under the Greebly category
You think so?
because they can be swapped out depending on the functionality of the hilt. Like for example, Saber Forge actually has a whole section of their site where they have these cover text wheels that also fit on with cover tech knobs. Yeah,
hmm
um, basically go under adaptive service part, go under accessories, go under general accessories. Yeah, they
I
have
think.
knobs and they have D ring cover tech knobs. They're currently not they're currently not available to be purchased, which sucks. But they could be silver, weathered, or black, and they have different ring shapes. There's a D ring shape, there's a square shape, and a triangle shape.
Mhm.
But yeah, you could swap it out. I mean, it all depends on what you're doing. But yeah, I would say
I think I would agree with that because if you could swap them out, I think you could.
cover techs and D rings, cover tech knobs and D rings, triangle rings, and square rings definitely fall under that category.
Because then if you decide, depending on the type of hilt that you have too, you can take them off completely and get a holster for it, right?
Yeah,
So I mean,
well, I mean, yeah, you could definitely get a holster or definitely something like that. Yeah,
so
but what's
I would
interesting
say,
is that back to what you were saying, Mondo, about the whole Padawan emulating master.
hmm
I actually, if you look at the behind the scenes footage of Ahsoka, specifically the Shadow Master episode where there's the Clone Wars uh, flashbacks, the hilts they made for Ahsoka's lightsabers that Ariana Greenblatt wielded, they actually copied a bit of Anakin's hilt. They actually did it where instead of one fin on each side, there were two fins, and there was actually a control box on the
hmm
on the main hilt, which there are some people out in the community that on the lightsaber community that don't like it, that particular design. They prefer the original Clone Wars look from the animated
Mhm.
series. But honestly, it does show it, you know.
Now, now I know Scott has heavily greeblified, you know, his hilts and stuff.
That's an understatement.
Shroud, shrouds and more, right? But shrouds and more, God, that's what that's what he's gonna be known for. Shrouds and more. That's his new nickname, right, Scott? Shrouds and more.
Shrouds and more.
But no, I mean he's got some awesome looking stuff, man. I really like it. And but has anybody else put like different things, whether you'd have to sand them down, paint, and anything else on your shrouds on the saber itself, and because you can interchange different shrouds for your sabers, shrouds are definitely heavily greeblified and heavily named greeblies because there's so many different designs of shrouds that you can put on your sabers. I mean, it doesn't matter what saber you have. There's infinite ways to make a shroud, and infinite designs of shrouds is what I actually should say, right? I mean, you can make your shrouds. You can 3D print your shrouds. You can laser cut your shrouds. You can um you can make your shrouds out of PVC pipe. You make your shrouds out of paper. I mean, you know, you can do all kinds of things with shrouds. I mean, for crying out loud, you can even make a shroud with a toilet paper roll and cut it out and put it on a PVC pipe and then cut the design out, right? So, um, it's about how you go about things, but making those designs and making those small little tweaks to enhance your saber, it's just amazing, right? Excuse me. What do you think? Piping in another favorite of mine. External crystals as well. External crystals. Well, what really works as the external crystal really is the star killer, right? It's not embedded into the chassis of the hilt. It's embedded within the hilt itself, and it's externally showed, and that I think is pretty badass. The way it turned out, yeah, right. Precious metals, yeah, for sure. And of course, the different I mean the my God, the crystal chambers have all the different greeblies as well because you have all these little designs in some of the screws and some of the little rods. Um, then you also have the bare plain rods that go in and out. Uh, the Michael Bearish hilts. I mean, my God, it's just unbelievable with that type of stuff. Hey, Scott, how many Greeblies do you? All of them, yeah, all of them. The shrouds, yeah. Uh, you can utilize different things as Greeblies, and like even certain designs. I think was it. I Barris, can
Yep.
you look up Blue Force? I think it was Blue Force Company that had certain hilts that were heavily greeblified, but because they were greeblified by they are themed lightsabers. I don't know if you remember. Is it Blue Force? I think it was Blue Force
Blue
sabers.
Force
But
sabers. Yeah, let me see.
he did the He-Man theme. He did the the Flash theme.
I mean,
He did
yeah,
a
there's the Dark Lord of the Rings inspired, the Sword of Omens by
There you
Thundercats.
go.
There's
Yeah.
Dark Ren, which okay, that looks nice. Sauron, White Power Ranger, Punisher, King of the North, Tron, White Dragon, Zelda, Xenomorph, God of War, Yellow Power Ranger, Red Power Ranger, Black Power Ranger, Blue Power Ranger. Holy shit, this guy's got Power Rangers. This is crazy. There's a
Yeah,
Targaryen.
man.
There's a Thor and Oakenshield, Sub Zero, a Ghostbusters version. I mean, I'm looking at the prices, and these are like 750 to 400 to $750. These are actually not that
Well,
bad.
that sounds about right. That sounds about right, man. Because I mean, look
Yeah,
how heavily greeblified they are
installed,
in the
installed.
designs.
The Survivor installed hilt, non-weathered, it's 725. Installed, it's 760. And
Non-installed, how much?
non-installed, it's 425. But what's interesting
Wow.
about this one is that it looks like with the Greebly, it it looks like it can take. Um, I'm going to have to ask what I'm going to. I'm you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask and see. Uh huh. I'm going to ask and see which, if all of the hilts that he has ever made, is if Blue Force can make if they're like interesting is if they take regular LGT cores because these look really nice.
Well, I want to see if I can get him on the show if he can.
Okay,
I'd love to pick his brain.
well, I mean, you could
Love to
also
pick his
message
brain.
him. Yeah, installed, it's like $100 more.
Hmm. I'm sure it takes him quite a bit of time, man, to get all of that stuff like that.
But yeah,
I would doubt it.
it looks like these are. Hmm.
Are the ones you're looking at heavily weathered, or are they like lightly weathered, or are they pristine? What?
Some of them can be weathered, some of them can't be. Like for example, the Jon Snow King of the North. That is not. That's already done as it is. But yeah, interesting though.
I find it quite interesting because the themes that he's done is just incredible. You
Oh,
know,
definitely.
um, and so doing a theme saber really, I mean,
There's a predator
fall.
hilt. There's a predator hilt too.
Oh wow, a predator hilt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look on the website, man. Because I only saw a few of the sabers that he did. I haven't seen all of them. So, like I said, I've seen the Flash one, I've seen the He-Man one, I've seen I think three or four. What the Sword of Omens I've seen. What else? Let me see. Um, gosh, but see stuff like that. When somebody does a theme saber like that, it's heavily greeblified because it works in conjunction with the theme that he's going with, and you have all of the colors that go into it, the painting. You have the different um elements that go into it, right? I mean that you see parts like something that you'll see out of the shows or the movies, whatever have you will, and then you also have your oh gosh, let me see. Um Colors, the chassis, the painting, uh geez. Everything everything that goes with that movie or that show that they're trying to portray. So that in itself is super interesting, right? Because the amount of time that goes into it. Now it can be a short amount of time, or it can be a good long process depending on how you want to perceive things, right?
Yeah.
Opal on the other side of the shroud mentioned. Oh, okay. Speaking, well, since we're on the subject of themed lightsabers, right? If I don't know if anybody is familiar with JB Kuma, which is a friend of Anthony's, and I've had the pleasure of actually, watching some of his videos. It's the mad scientist JB Kuma, and he did a infinity lightsaber, right? The infinity glove lightsaber, and within the lightsaber, it had all the colors and the gems that went onto the gauntlet. Um, you had to have all of the gems onto the gauntlet part of the lightsaber in order for it to boot up and go. And that was really interesting because all the gems were magnetically placed into the gauntlet hilt, and it was so interesting to see how, when you have one of those gems missing, it wouldn't work. And then as soon as all the gems are on there, it works. It turns on and everything. It's just unbelievable. So if you guys get a chance, go to JB Kuma's Mad Scientist and watch some of his videos, because some of the stuff he does is just nothing short of magical, man. Because I mean, he's just a, a genius with stuff, man. Makes everything, and he actually helped Anthony with the quad star blades in terms of the PCB and stuff like that. So so if you guys get a chance, check out some of JB Kuma's stuff. Mad Scientist. I mean, you won't be disappointed with some of the stuff. I think he even did let's see, the helmet, uh Xavier Charles helmet, right?
Yeah, the Cerebro helmet.
Cerebral. He did that. He did that, and he also did a helmet for Magneto and stuff like that. Man, good stuff. Good stuff. I don't think you guys would be disappointed in seeing any of those. Now, can you do some Greeblies on control boxes? Absolutely, I think, but you don't see too many Greeblies on control boxes,
I actually have an
right?
example of that. Give me one quick second. All right.
And while he's getting that, and the rest of the story is, I don't know if anybody remembers that.
So one of the things I actually did get a recent. I recently got this from Galactic Junkyards. It's a store on Etsy where they sell used sabers, and as you can
Hmm.
see, it's Ben Skywalker's lightsaber from EU.
Mm,
And as you can see, there are some Greeblies here on the control panel side.
I see that.
Yeah, and
Excuse me.
they are able to come off. Although I don't want them to, but you get the general
Oh,
idea.
nice. Yeah. So is one of those Greeblies actually a button or a kill key?
No, it's like it's the simple setup for the LGT for the old
Okay.
LGT helps. Basically, the activation switch is underneath the plunger here.
Okay.
Yeah. See, as you can see, there's the thing with it, and the plungers underneath, and this is where they hold the screw in that holds it down.
Okay. Ah, see, I'm glad you showed that because clamp cards, Greeblies.
Clamp cards do count as Greeblies, yes, and there are a few. There are a lot of people. There are some people out there that make some good clamp cards. Of course, Sloth Furnace is known for it. Um,
Hmm.
let's see who else. And I mean, even the ones that are made by companies like 89 Sabers and whatnot are pretty good, are very nicely done.
Well, see, and I've been making some by hand, and I haven't. I don't know if I. Oops. Let me see here. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can find one or two of my the ones that I make by hand. 'Cause, um. Well, actually, let me put this back up right here. If hopefully it'll stay. Wait. Jeez, come on. Don't be an ass. My phone's gonna be. Dee. Come here. Sorry, guys. Hold on just a second. You know what? I'm gonna take that off. It'll get hot, but it's alright. Okay. So going if I get Roy Boy
Hmm.
and okay. So if I get Roy Boy here, this is a custom clamp that I did right here, right? So this one, this style of clamp card I do myself by hand. And I've been making all my own custom clamp cards. In that way, I have control of my stuff. I don't know if let me see if I can. Let me look in. Okay, here we go. I think I might have some different control boards, clamp cards. Excuse me. And the ones that I do basically is for box one, from TCSS, right? There's that one, and then let me see if I can find. Come on. Ah, here we go. Now, I don't know if anybody seen Anthony's uh ancient Graflex that he won in that Graflex contest. If you watch that, I have actually made the clamp card for that particular hilt, and this is actually the hilt that the clamp card that I made for that hilt,
Very
right?
nice. It definitely looks like it could pass for a Graflex clamp. Yeah.
Yeah. So this I do these by hand right here. I buy a certain circuit board that has these on there. I cut it, I shape it, and I sand it down for the size of the box one from TCSS. So as a matter of fact, I just bought some more boards and I need to cut them and start shaping them so that I can get some more. Now, eventually, what I want to do is I do want to start cutting these up and making a box full of these. Eventually, I'd like to start selling some of these. Um, and then also these kind of little clamp cards too, right
Very
here.
nice.
So these just little circuit boards like that, I cut them, shape them, right? Now they're not exactly straight as laser cut. I don't have a laser cutter, but I do want to offer them in terms of me spending some time and just trying to do the best I can to make boards like this. Now I know people can do cheaper and stuff like that, and because they have a laser cutter and everything else on top of that, so they can make cleaner cuts and everything.
Mhm.
I mean, if you want that, that's fine. I mean, eventually, like I said, I'll get enough to sell eventually when I decide I want to do that. Um, and as far as price goes wise, I'm not sure. I'd have to see what I know anywhere from maybe between. It takes me a couple of hours to get them straight and get them done because the way they I have to cut them with the Dremel, and then all of the rest of the time is the sanding and shaping and making sure that they're flush with the box one and stuff.
Hmm.
So, but uh, other than that, I enjoy doing those though too because they're a lot of fun to work on for me, anyways. But again, like I said, I do it by hand. I don't have a laser cutter or anything like that, so it'd be
Yeah,
nice. It'd go a lot faster for me to offer those,
definitely.
and a lot cheaper probably too, because I mean, just to be able to cut, to show, the exact dimension of it, and then have that laser just cut it out crisp and clean, you know. But unfortunate, they don't come out that crisp and clean. But who would actually have something like that crisp and clean in if they're outside? Let's say the ship crashes, or they come across a ship that has crashed in the woods and they're pulling stuff out. Are you actually going to have something that straight? you know, I mean,
Yeah.
you get so that's going to be the story behind those, right? Like you come across a crashed ship and you're just pulling stuff out, and that's the whole basis for the story on those. Oh yeah, she's still around. Yeah, Felicia gets a little busy sometimes. I mean, she works at night and she listens to us, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure but she gets everybody gets busy with family too, so yeah. It's just like I don't expect everybody to be here every Sunday. I don't expect even half of you guys on Sunday. So it's such a blessing to have all of you guys here and in the chat and stuff. So yeah, but she's yeah. I literally text her on it on every now and then on a weekly basis. I kind of chit chat with her here and there and stuff. The as a matter of fact, she just had a good Halloween with her kids and her husband. So yeah, I mean, pretty good. I'm sure it kind of wore her out and stuff too. So she works at night. I think she works the night shift, so that's why she listens to us at night. And then during the day she still deals with the kids and everything else on top of that. So I know everybody misses us with me and Anthony and everybody else. So yeah, I can't be as glamorous as Anthony and everybody else, but I am who I am. Yeah. But you guys make me who I am as well because I love having fun, man. This is just fun for me. And this is just a way to pull up a chair and have a drink and talk sabers. I don't know where anybody else can do that, right? Yep. Everything all right? Okay. Wife coming out saying hi.
No problem.
So, Greeblies really do enhance the saber no matter how you check it. Now you can have little bit of Greeblies, or you can have a lot of Greeblies. Sometimes less is more, and sometimes more is freaking awesome, depending on how what you want to do, right? And how creative you get with it. Um, depending on how creative you can get. Even now, batteries. There's Greeblies for batteries because you have the battery covers, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do count as Greeblies or not. I honestly, yeah.
Oh yeah, Cincy. I miss him too, bro. But he's doing good. He's doing all right. Cincy's been playing Star Citizen, so he's been doing a lot of that. And he hasn't been doing Saber's stuff like yeah, Saber stuff for him is kind of like almost non-existent now. And yeah, though I get in touch with him every now and then, you know, and I do text him and with the Star Citizen stuff, I'll put some comments and stuff when he does the Star Citizen Facebook stuff. And so yeah, I keep in touch with him. I mean, I can't um I cannot stay away from Cincy because Cincy really I have to thank him so much. I mean, he made me three lightsaber stands, and I got one saber stand also from Megtooth that I painted up. But again, I want to show you guys this, and I think saber stands may be part of Greeblies for lightsaber itself, if you look at it a different way. But look at
Oh,
this.
nice.
Look at that. And it holds three sabers, man. It holds three sabers, right? So again, I'll show you a different one that Cinzy has, oops, that Cinzy has provided for me. And again, like I said, to this day, I just, Cinzy's just so awesome for sending me these. I think the other one is over there. Um, So check this one out. Look at this. Doo, 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 doo. I mean,
Nice.
this is just so awesome, man. Let me get the last one. I'm probably gonna have to get out of the picture here for just a second, just so y'all can see this. And I've got this. This one here is right in front of a Darth Vader picture that I got from Home Depot. Not Home Depot. I'm sorry. Hobby Lobby, right? But it's got Vader holding the saber right across, and I've got this one with the Black Prophecy on it.
That's the Sith Empire emblem.
Yeah. So I've got the like I said. Did I? What did I do with it? Doo-doo. There it is. So with this so I've got this one just like this right here,
Oh,
right?
very
The dark prophecy goes onto it like this. And if you can picture not my face, but the picture of Darth Vader holding his saber like this right in the background. So that's
very.
how I have it. So that's how I have it, right? And so I would say, yeah, I would say that lightsaber stands could be considered greeblies, so to speak.
I mean,
So,
definitely. I do have one lightsaber wall display where you can swap out the emblems, which are nice.
oh, thank you, Scott. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me tell you, I bought on Etsy. On Etsy, I bought a lightsaber wall hanger, right? And I did the rub and buff on it, silver and gold, and this is how it turned out.
Nice. Wait, where did you buy that one from?
So it's on Etsy.
Yes, but the store on Etsy, the creator.
I'll have to look. I don't remember who I got it from, but I bought the STL. I bought the STL,
Okay.
and I printed this. I printed this in bronze PLA, and then from bronze PLA, I did the silver. Excuse me, silver and gold rub and buff on it, Yep. I think it came out pretty decent. Pretty decent. And it can go on the wall. It's got the hooks on the back for the wall right here. So I just ordered probably about 4 hours ago. I um I ordered silk silver PLA um several hours ago from Amazon, and so that I could go ahead and purchase I mean get some more chassis going. And if you excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my sabers back the way they were. I think I just got everything all kind of screwy. You know what I did not show, guys? It was the saber holder that Megtooth gave. Okay, so a while back, Megtooth provided me or gifted me actually with a lightsaber holder, a three-tier lightsaber holder,
Very
right?
nice.
And of course, it was all white, and I painted this. I painted this with the emblem gold, red, and black. And this took me a couple of hours to go ahead and kind of. I didn't sand it, and I should have, because you can still see some of the layer lines in there. But at the same time, I was just too happy about it, because you can see you can see a lot of the layer lines right there. But man, I was so happy when he sent me this thing. I was so excited. I said I didn't even want to sand it down, dude. I just like sand a little bit of it and then go to town and paint it and get it done. And it took me a couple of hours. I hand painted this thing. Of course, I had to take a lot of painter's tape and cover the place like in the red area and stuff, so that I wouldn't get all the rest of the paint all over everything. I just took a little uh paintbrush and went to town on there. So yeah, man. I mean, um, definitely a big greebly to enhance your sabers. Even though it holds the sabers, I think it's a greebly part of the sabers, because what are you gonna do? You'll put your sabers on the wall, but if you're not gonna put them on the wall and you use something like this, yeah, I think that kind of considers itself a greebly in itself, right? So yeah, man, all good. And yeah, I miss Mountain being on here too, man. Mountain's a good dude. He's been real busy though. Um he's been having to do some work on different things, and he's just been so busy. So he hasn't had any time really to be on the show. But hopefully he'll come back and have some fun with us sometime, sometime in the future. It'd be fun to have him on again.
Definitely.
Love my I love my co-pilots. My co-pilots are so badass. Let me see here. I had my back turned too much. Let's see, where did I leave off here? Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Smuggler's Room has dedicated episodes regarding finding Greeblies. Oh yeah, Smuggler's Room. That's yeah. Actually, I love watching that dude on the Smuggler's Room. If anybody's watching the Smuggler's Room, if you haven't, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend watching the Smuggler's Room. He's come up with so many good ideas for Greeblies, and so many good ideas for certain things that that yeah. Jim's out. Ooh, Star Citizen. That it's just pure eye candy from some of the stuff that he does, right? And not only it's just him, but it's both him and his wife that do it together, which makes it even more special. So that's cool that they can both do that. Not everybody gets that type of scenario. Yeah, I know. He started doing Meg 2 started doing the SpaceX stuff, but he's really doing a lot of good stuff in terms of since he retired, his he's been having a lot of fun on the water and watching the SpaceX stuff, and then he did like SpaceX news and so forth. But yeah, he's still around. I text him every once in a while. Oh, thank you, Mo. Thank you very much, man. Yeah, cheese in the house. Cheese in the house. Pommels have been modified with their cool greebies lately. No nuts, brass etc. Yeah, I would say so, Mo. I would say so that some pommels. I think if you really pay attention to what they've been doing to them, yeah, I would agree with that statement. Hard dive engines. Yeah. Wow. Old gun cases turning him into display stands. Yes, that's nice, Scott. Oh my gosh, that is super nice. Now, you know, what is it that I actually want to say? Because there's a lot of interesting stuff that you can utilize, right? It's interesting let's take the Graflex for instance. The Graflex in itself was a camera before it became a saber, and then you broke up the camera in order to get the flash gun part of it, and the flash gun part of it became the Luke's and Vader's saber. And it's so funny because when you took off the flashbulb part of it and you left the rest of it, now the stuff that they had put onto it, which basically they greeblified it heavily because you had the shroud that they put on there, the shroud, and then of course they put the control box on there the way they had it. Then you had the windshield wipers stuff on there, right? As far as the grips go, and then they had the D-ring holder onto it. So they heavily greeblified it before it actually became what we have in terms of a Canon saber, right? So if you took all of that stuff off the Graflex, if you took all of that stuff off the Graflex and left it as without the grips, without the shroud, what kind of saber would it turn out if they had put different things on there, right?
I mean, yeah, that is one of the things that people speculate as to, and I mean it's kind of what Theory Sabers and Roger Christian did with the Father, with the version that they released, um,
Hmm.
concept Darth Vader hilt.
Now, do you like the father concept hilt?
I I think it definitely shows what could have been Lucas had George Lucas had a bigger budget for Star Wars and was able to do much more.
Hmm.
Um, I would say that it has definitely been lampooned by the Saber community, not only because of the price that they set it at, but also somebody did a comparison by putting a picture of a tricycle horn on it next to it, which I mean, it does look like that, but And I mean, but no offense, but if I'm going to spend $1,200 on a lightsaber, it's going to be a lightsaber that has the internal Goth 3D chassis, not something
Yeah.
like that. And I mean,
Or Michael Bears.
and honestly, I don't care for Roger Christian's signature. I mean, I get that the saber is like, let me look it up. Let me see if Theory Sabers still has some of those, the fathers still in stock.
Well, I'm sure they might because of the price, you know. Not many people are willing to pay that much for a saber in terms of
Yep, it's still available, and it is at It's at $1,499.
yeah. They had already said that when they first introduced it was going to be 11 something, and then when the second half of it was going to be the 14 something. So, you know, that I can't see something like that. I couldn't afford. I really couldn't afford something like that. No
I think
matter how
I
much.
don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth getting. I mean, look, it's a really interesting concept, Hill. It's definitely based off of what could have been, especially when you look at the drawings that Ralph McQuarrie did of the first lightsabers and that. But honestly, it's just one of those sabers that, I mean, it looks nice, but it's not going to have that big of an impact.
Mm, don't get me wrong. I mean, Roger Christian is a phenomenal person in terms of creativity with things.
No, and I
And
mean,
and and, and I like the look of the saber. I really do. I like the look of the saber. The Greeblies on it is it it looks like it was manufactured from Vader on Mustafar. If you really think about the way it is designed, right? Because with Mustafar having the lava pools, the lava rivers, and so forth. If you look at it, the the lava rivers or the lava falls coming down, and then it's kind of reminiscent of that. If you look at it, the way it is built, the way it is designed, and I kind of like the design of that, but I don't necessarily agree with the price. But at the same time, you do have to understand the time that it took to come up with that thing. The time that maybe it took to uh come up with the internals for it and so forth. So I kind of get it. I kind of get it, but again, it just may be out of a lot of people's price point for that much. And I mean, I don't blame them for offering it at that price. I really don't, because coming from a creative standpoint, coming from a the time that it takes to make something like that in terms production, the amount of materials that it would cost to make it. I can pretty much say that probably the material wise, you're probably looking at about maybe $500-600 easy for material wise, right? But if you're I there's no precious metals within the hilt itself. Then it's got an actual crystal. Actual crystals, really aren't that much either. In terms of because you can get a quartz crystal for pennies on the dollar. So depending on where you get them from, I mean you can get a whole bag for like under $15, and you got what anywhere from 10 to 15 crystals. So that's 10 or 15 sabers right there that you can do for that one particular saber.
Yeah.
Um, so again, I kind of get where they're coming from in terms for the price, but I kind of think they did price a lot of people out of it, right? And yeah, I've seen the cases that Tim has done and the Greeblies that he's put on the cases and so forth. Man, that those are on fire. Those are on fire. And I can tell you, it probably took a while for him to kind of put a coat of primer and then go back and spray paint it and then put all the greeblies on it, the electronics into it and so forth, and then have the foam put in there. Yeah, it probably took him a while to make that too. So you do have to remember that when you do find a certain something that you like that is heavily greeblified, do keep in mind that the time it takes to paint, sand, and attach to the lightsaber or whatever parts that are enhancing your lightsaber stuff. You want to make sure that you do give credit where credit is due. Interesting to see the concept brought to existence. Too pricey for me, and personally, I think that the Vader should have dangerous to touch kind of feel. Here's my feelings. Yeah, I agree with that, Scott. You know, I think we all do. I think we all do, really. Um, but the concept, I do like the concept of it. I really do. I think it's a badass concept. Now, would I pay probably about 700 for it? I probably would. I probably would pay about 700 for it, right? Because it's got the real crystal and everything else.
Yeah,
But
700.
again,
I would pay 700 for it. I wouldn't pay over $1,500. Like I said,
yeah.
Goth, Goth 3D chassis on a KR Saber, hell yeah.
But I would say, Theory, if you're watching this, man, I'm not dogging anything, or the price is just a little out of price range, but man, it is a badass, it's a badass hilt, and I commend you on doing, what you did, and talking with Roger Christian and so forth, collaborations like that, uh that is just commendable, man. So if you do ever watch this video, thank you for everything that you do, and hopefully one day you'll come on the show and we can talk and stuff and have some fun with a lot of things that you do. I know Jesse goes and goes with him to cons and stuff like that. And
Yep.
Jesse's pretty awesome with his fonts and stuff. Kyberphonic, if nobody knows what I'm talking about.
No, we do. It's just getting late.
Oh yeah, no, I get it, man. I get it. So I really do get it. I mean, like right here, right now, it's almost 10. Not quite here. It's not quite
For
10.
me, it's almost 11.
Oh wow, almost 11 for you, huh?
Yeah,
So
that's why.
you're an hour ahead of me.
Mhm.
No, it's not too bad. I usually go to bed about 1:30 in the morning, so that's why I'm used to it. I'm not used to the change. I guess I just get used to the change no matter what because of the way it is. T says, let's see what T says. Let's
Mhm.
see. Chitto systems are real names off. So we know to remember our YouTube. Oh, I just know that this dude got shivered with a pop-up and reversal tube. Oh yeah, what's that hero? Have you seen that video? Well, that video you sent it to me, right, Bears? With
Eurotech, yeah.
that Asian guy.
He's from Singapore.
Okay, so that was interesting. That was pretty epic because I think Scott sent it to me too, and That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he was able to fit. He was able to fit a chassis. He was able to fit a chassis and a KR Graflex hilt.
That I saw that, and I was all like, "What, man? That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah,
That was pretty awesome to fit it in the KR hilt. That is phenomenal." And again, but there's no room actually for real Greeblies with the way he did certain things, other than the LEDs that he had for the blade and the thing, right?
yeah,
But the concept of it was pretty damn good. It was pretty cool, man. It had just enough little bit of resistance to tip over something. And that was I found that pretty good. I found that pretty good. Not like the one from I think it was from Disney, where Disney's you couldn't even do anything with it because it's so flimsy. It just go up, down, and light up, and yeah, that's it. You couldn't really swing it around too much
yeah,
because it was so flimsy. But with this one, I think this guy's gonna go pretty far with his. I think he's gonna beat the shit out of Disney with his.
yeah. Well, and the
For
cool thing is that Disney can't sue him because he designed it himself, and Profi is an open source board.
Yeah, exactly. And plus it's Cal's hilt design hilt. So,
Yeah,
and if Hilt has a contract with Disney as far as the hilt wise goes, there's still nothing they can do. So he's safe. He's safe. I like and I commend these guys for what would we have if we didn't have pioneers like this guy, right? You got to have some pioneers and people that think outside the box for this stuff, for sure. For sure. Well, guys, I think we ought to call it a night, man. It's going to be 10 o'clock already, 11 o'clock for Bears, and I'm sure you guys have got to wake up early in the morning and head on over to work like I do, man. So, like, I'm like, I wish I had one more day off, but it is what it is.
yep,
I think he thought it out very clear. I think he did too, man. Mo, I think he really did.
yep,
I think he really thought a lot of things through, and I think he did. He probably looked at Disney's stuff and the engineer that Disney provided. With all that video that the engineer was shown for what he did for Disney's lightsaber, he probably did take that into account and improved on a lot of that different stuff and decided, hey, well, if that worked like this is what I can do, but I'm going to do it a different way and it's going to be better than that. And that's what pioneers do. I mean, you got to, change things up. You can invent the wheel and you can add on to the wheel. You can add Greeblies to the wheel and make it look better or different, but it's still going to be the same concept. It's going to go round and round and get you from place to place, right?
yeah,
So, I mean, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you dress it up, but there's always something that somebody can do to just make it that much little bit better. And I commend us people that can do stuff like that, right? Star Cruiser Hotel show would rate nicer saber than the Scott, did you get to go on that? I didn't. And I know that Rich Angelo did. He said it was pretty cool. He enjoyed it. He said he had a good time on it. I never got to go on it. I wanted to, but man, I didn't expect it to be shut down that quickly. But of course, things happen. Things happen. So again, let's call it a night. And again, I've got to I gotta thank Anthony Space, Anthony Lagapa Space Windu, Gabe Munoz, the 2 out of 3 original amigos that started Saber Talk. And kudos, and I've got to always tip my hat to Harris, who passed on, and I hope I do him proud by doing the Saber Talk. I pretty much won't do a full on rant like he will, but Bears, I can leave you up to the rants for me. You do a good job of ranting, man. Yeah, I'll be the one in charge of all the positive good stuff, man. And tonight we just Chris couldn't come on tonight. He was just a little too tired from work, so no worries. He'll come on when he comes on. And again, I always invite everybody to come onto the show. Whether you want to show your face or not, that's okay. We can have your you on the show, but pick of something else or whatever, and just have your voice on the show. But at the same time, I want you to be comfortable, right? Yeah, Anthony will do it better. I believe it, T. Absolutely, right? Um, my most important aspect of the show, two things. One, I do live, and you can't edit live, and that's why I love to be different from anybody else. I don't edit my show. What happens, happens. What will be, right? And I want to have a conversation with you guys like we're sitting at a table having fun talking about this stuff. Because where else can you do is pull up a chair, have a drink, and talk sabers. That's my preference. That's what I want for everybody to come, have a good time, and do this. Have this saber talk with us, and have a place to go if you can't talk with anybody else about this stuff. So again, like I said, if invite you want to come on the show, let me know. I'll send you an email. You come on the show, and we'll have some fun, man. Again, this is just all opinions and preferences of Saber fans, and whether you're beginner, intermediate, or pro, it doesn't matter. I invite everybody to come onto the show, and I enjoy talking with everybody as well. And thank you guys so much for all of you that are in the chat. They come every Sunday when I do the show. Um, and I know I can't do the show every single Sunday, but when I do it, thank you guys for being here with me. You guys make the show as well. It's not just me. It's not just Barris. It's not just Chris, and it's not just James from Mountain Sabers. It is all. It's all of us together. And I want everybody to understand that if you come to the show, and even if you're in the chat, we're going to treat you with respect and have fun and everything else on top of that. You know, I can't stress enough that all of us together should synergistically make the show. It's not just me, it's not just you guys, and it's not the ones in the chats. It is all of us together having the fun. And that is what it is. It's we're all having fun. And that's what the whole show, Saber Talk, is about. And I am so proud that Anthony has entrusted me to do this. And so each and every time at the end of the show, I want to be able to express that so that even the new, and this is mostly for the new people that come in and watch this. Most of the seasoned vets, they'll probably come, okay, I'm done. Yep, I know all this stuff. Okay, yeah, all good, and I'm glad. Even if you come in for 5 minutes, that's more to me. Even just coming in for 5 minutes is well worth it for me. Okay, so again, um, going forward,
Mundo, I know you said you weren't going to rant, but this is ranting, and I really want to go to bed.
this is not ranting. thanking everybody.
Oh,
Dude.
I know you're thinking. I think you said thank you probably 1, 2, 3, 4, like 7 times.
Hey, you can leave anytime, bro. You can leave anytime, man. I mean, like I said, I can't thank everybody enough because again, it is what it is. They and you and everybody makes the show, bro.
I
That's
know.
all it is. So, okay. So again, good night, everybody. Paris,
Please,
have a good week,
please
dude.
put us all to sleep.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm even myself. I'll put myself to sleep. I'll put everybody to sleep. As long as you have good dreams, savor the moment, guys. Savor the moment.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys. Peace out.
Wait, what just
Did it
happened?
go?